Hey everybody, it's Mike over here at Growtopia, and I just want to show you guys what I planted for the month of June. So, into the handy dandy Bible, we have planted 75 plants in total, but not a lot of different varieties. So the first thing I'm going to start off with here quick is I'm tired of sitting in here. I've been in here for a few hours. First thing we're going to be starting off with is our cucamelons, which is here. Anybody hasn't planted these yet, they are also known as the Mexican sour gherkin. Cucamelon is a unique vining plant that produces small cucumber-like fruits with a tangy, citrusy flavor, perfect for pickling salads or snacking. These little fruits are a fun addition to any garden. 7 to 14 days to germinate, half an inch down, 12 inches apart, full sun, 70 to 80 degrees. Cucamelons. So, I got 5 of those on a heat mat at 72 degrees. The next thing we're running is our cucumber national pickling. Cucumbers is a delicious variety, perfect for making pickles. They are delicious at any age and can also be picked at 2 to 3 inches for gherkins, or just let them mature to full size over a pound. Half an inch down, 7 to 10 days, 70 to 90 degrees, full sun. Sitting on a heat mat at 72 degrees, I did 5 of those. Planted 5 of those. Let me grab this tray. I feel like it's going to be like a disaster shortly. And the last one for that tray, that was just a cucumber tray that we're doing. It's 3 different plants on it, 5 each. This is Cucumber Garden Sweet. It's a Garden Sweet burpless hybrid. I planted it last year. It was very good. It has like a greenish yellowishness to it when it's time to harvest, and I've had some that were that long and like that around. So, and they're great, and you know, you could just grab it and just right off the vine. The next thing we're going to jump down onto is one that I've never had before, and then the one is I keep pushing them over and over, is my bush beans. So we end up actually doing 2 trays of bush beans, but the first one we're running off, if you guys haven't seen it before, is the Taylor bean. What's to say about the Taylor bean? Well, what's cool is that it has this color to it, and so does the bean on the inside. And you could eat it like that straight off the vine, but if you cook it, it loses its color, and that's true for the next 2 beans. So I would say if you want to enjoy this bean, or like put it into anything like food or salad, or like, you know, just eat it out of a bag in front of your coworkers and freak them out, I think Taylor bean would be that. But the last one I think would really get people freaked out by the name of it. So I did 7 of those. I planted 5 of those, and at 72 degrees as well. Next one, an all-time favorite, is the Dragon Tongue bean. Same thing alongside with the Taylor. They're good nutty flavor. Just going off of experience, I had this one last year. I didn't do Taylor this year, and then the new one that's coming up, I did 5 of these beans, 5 Taylor, 5 Dragons. Same thing, they're purple. The bean inside is like purple and white. Pretty freaking cool. Definitely very tasty, and they grow super quick. And also I learned that I can grow them indoors without any bees, so they don't need pollinators. They just grow on their own, so it's great. You can literally put them anywhere. You can have them inside the house, outside, in a greenhouse. They're very versatile. And the last one and the new one for the beans for that tray is rattlesnake bean. Right. This looks like it's like a reddish greenish bean. Really hard to see on that little photo up there. So that'd be the interesting, like, what are you eating? It's like rattlesnake bean. You know, you got the purple bean, you got the red bean, and then you got the green and red bean. So I did 5 of those as well on that tray at 72 degrees. But we're not done with the beans just yet. The next bean that we decided to plant was the Garden Sweet beans, the Garden Tender beans. I've planted these beans before. Very flavorful, very tasty. They grow really super quick as well. Basically, once you can harvest them literally when they look like that, and it's great. And like I said, you can grow these just like the other ones, indoor, outdoor, in a greenhouse, doesn't matter. So I had bought myself another greenhouse, a big giant greenhouse that we're going to be building in the next month or so. It's 8 feet by 14 feet long. So there's going to be a lot of things like beans and blueberries in there, strawberry bush in there, stuff I don't want the squirrels to get into and the birds as well. So there'll be a lot of beans and peas and stuff in there, and then overflow when customers decide to back out last minute on plants that I started growing for them, and now I have no idea what to do with them other than find a home for them. So anyway, so that was the garden bean. This is the bush Romana bean. Falls into the same play as everybody else. Soil temperature above 70 degrees. It's on a heat mat at 72. 7 to 10 days of germination. Full sun, 1 inch down. 2 to 3 feet apart for planting. Does not require stakes or poles for support. The bean pods will grow in groups, making them very easy to pick. I grew these last year too, and that was literally that. It was like vine would come off, and it had like just literally looked like fingers coming off of it. We were just eating these things all the time. Every time I went to the greenhouse, I would grab like 2 or 3 of them like every single day, and then there was more and more. So definitely a good one to grow. And Swiss chard rainbow is also another one. I keep throwing my Swiss chard out there as well. I love eating it straight as is. Nice earthy tone. 7 to 14 days germination, of course. 1 inch down. Very good thing to add to your garden. So the cucamelons, the national cucumbers, the cucumber sweets, the Taylor bean, the dragon bean, the rattlesnake bean, the garden tender bean, the bush romana, the Swiss chard. I planted 5 of each of those plants at 72 degrees. We have more that we are doing, and the more that we're going to go down to now is we are in our squashes. Okay. So the first squash that I chose was the white scallop squash. I think it's actually really cool looking. It's a summer squash, so you pick them when they're young and they're soft, such as its cousin, the yellow, or its brother. I'll put them side by side because the yellow one is going to be the next one I'm talking about. So yeah, the next one as well is the yellow squash. So I did 2 white ones and 2 yellow ones. They like 7 to 10 days, 65 to 75 degrees soil temperature, full sun, inch down, 24 to 36 inches apart from one another. Bush type summer squash in a sunny yellow scallop dish shape, ideal for stuffing, also known as patty pan squash. Has a mild flavor and texture that is best when picked at 3 inches or smaller. So when they're about 3 inches or smaller, and it says the same thing virtually on this guy as well, that's when you want to pick them, is when they're small and they're soft. So it's going to be interesting once they start growing. So those are my squashes, or those squashes I should say. Also, and I did, like I said, I did 2 of those each. Then I did 3, and everything's at 72 degrees until I say otherwise. Actually, everything today is 72 degrees on the heat mats. So this is my bag of summer squash, of spaghetti squash from last year. Spaghetti squash is a winter squash. That means that when you harvest it, the outer shell is harder, and it will store a lot longer inside, versus the summer squashes, they're softer, and you can pick them when they're immature or young, whatever. You can pick them when they're young, and when they're soft, and then you eat them right away. These you can pick and you can store in a nice, cool place for quite a while. The spaghetti squash, and I think this is like still one squash that's in here. It was a lot of seeds, and every time I've been getting when I harvest my plants now, I just bag them and don't buy seeds anymore. But yeah, the date collected was 2025, so it was the end of last year. Oh no, this is 2025, so it was the beginning of this year. I'm already in the future, people. I'm always thinking like 3 months advance, so that's why I'm already in 2026. Okay, so the next one after the spaghetti squash is the golden crookneck summer squash. 60 to 90 days maturity, full sun, ½ inch down to 1 inch down. Crookneck usually takes a smooth skin, gourd shape. Seeds unique in looks and flavor. Doesn't say the flavor, what it tastes like. So I guess you have to find that out on your own. 60 to 90 days till maturity. So that's another one. Once it gets soft, You kind of just pull it off and eat it. That's your another summer squash, the Golden Crook. Did 2 of those. Next one here we have is a winter squash. It's a butternut squash. We did 2 of those. It's 85 to 100 days of maturity. Can yield 4 to 5 fruit per vine, 3 to 6 pounds, 7 to 14 days of full germination. I've had winter squash before from the store, but never had it out of the garden. So winter squash is winter squash, butternut squash. It's like it's super sweet. So you have like, and it's a nice hard one too. So you could have like chunks of, you could take like butternut squash and turn it into like a paste. You could spread it on stuff. You could dip your chicken in it. You could just eat it with a spoon. I'm getting myself hungry. Okay, so for the next 2 is the Delica squash as well. It's another one that's good for cooking and longevity. It's a winter squash. As you can tell, I wrote the word winter on it because it was missing from the package. 10 to 14 days of germination, 1 inch down. It's good for cooking and stuffing, 50 to 55 days, so it's a quick turnaround winter squash. So this will grow in half the time as the butternut. The butternut, it's about 100 days till germination. This is only 50 to 55 days till germination. God, this video is getting longer than I wanted. The last here of the squashes, this one as well, 10 to 14 days of germination, 65 to 75 degrees, full sun. Terrifically early summer squash with yellow skin and tapered straight neck. Delicious sweet fruit, is perfect for grilling, sauteing, and frying. Bush-like plant, makes harvesting easy. Pretty cool. Never grew it before. The summer straight neck squash. Just like the last one, I did 2 of these. Alright, and for our last tray. So we've been having issues with our sunflowers this year. They just seem like they don't want to germinate. So this is my last seed pack that I have from Burpees. It was packed in 2001. No, 2021. Right? Yeah, 2021 is when this package was packaged. Our seeds were packed in here. So it shouldn't really make that much of a difference. So I'm starting to wonder if the seeds are bad or there's some other underlying issue. So I did 1 tray and I did an experiment with it. So I got 5 of these at 72 degrees on the tray of the sunflower Burpees. In between the sunflowers, I got 5 melon yellow canaries. So I got sunflower, canary, and then a different type of sunflower. Fruits are 5 inches big, weighing in at 4 to 5 pounds of flesh. Is a pale green to yellow to white color, and is sweet, tangy, and soft. 1 inch down, 80 to 90 days till maturity, 7 to 14 days of germination. You can harvest when its rind turns bright yellow and has a slight waxy feel. Never grew these either, but interesting. And for the last one, this is the head of my sunflower from last year. I know this is kind of disturbing looking at it this way, but this is what happens when it's dead and you take it off. And this is all seeds. So what I did is I did 5 of the ones out of the bag, and I did 5 out of here that I did from last year. And what I do is I do 2 seeds per hole to double up the possibility of a perfect germination. So anything I planted today, like the squashes, the beans I did 1 because they're so big. But like the squashes and the cucamelons and the cucumbers, the sunflower, I doubled up on the seeds. So I did two seeds per pot of this guy as well. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we get some type of germination, but I'm curious of which one's going to germinate. Either the one from the bag or the one from the head. And if none germinate, I don't know. Whatever, right? So I've lost my pen. Anyway, guys, that is it for what I've planted for the month of June. I'm not going to be planting anything else for the month of June. That is it. That's it for the whole month. Just because as it's getting into summertime, I start winding down and down and down and down on what I'm planting. Between having now with the bedroom and all that stuff in there, I don't really have to worry about like constantly just like, oh shit, I got to do this, that, and the other. Now that I'm done, all I got to do is just go around the room right now and just make sure that all the heat lamps are off and all the grow lights that are off that I don't need. Anyway, that is it for today's video, and that is it for today. Like, subscribe, share with your friends and family. This is Mike from Growtopia. I hope you got something out of it. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Later.